Sony's mirrorless ecosystem is about to enter one of its most competitive phases yet. Three anticipated models, the Sony A7V, the Sony A7R VI, and the Sony FX3 II, are expected to arrive between late 2025 and early 2026, and each aims to redefine a segment of Sony's already diverse lineup. Let's dive into their rumored design choices, performance expectations, and pricing strategies, and see which one has the best chance of being Sony's next big winner. From a design standpoint, Sony doesn't appear to be reinventing the wheel with any of these models, but each is expected to adopt refinements that reflect its target audience. The A7V will likely borrow heavily from the flagship A12 body, which means a sturdier construction, a more sculpted grip, and improved weather sealing compared to the A7 IV. The absence of a top LCD panel remains a divisive talking point, and Sony seems unlikely to change its stance here. For some, it's a missed opportunity. For others, it maintains Sony's minimalist philosophy. The A7R VI, on the other hand, will remain visually familiar, but lean toward refinement rather than reinvention. Expect subtle ergonomic adjustments such as a deeper grip, improved joystick, and a more responsive button layout. What will stand out most is the rumored adoption of a fully articulating LCD and a 9.44 million dot EVF, which could make it one of the most immersive viewfinders in its class. While this model won't stray too far from Sony's established aesthetic, the design decisions show Sony's intent to make the high-resolution body more versatile for hybrid creators. The FX3 II, built for filmmakers, will emphasize utility over sleekness. Its design will retain the cage-friendly mounting points, which have been a hallmark for videographers who rig their cameras. The build may receive stronger weather sealing and potentially a quieter cooling system, which is important for documentary and interview-style work. Small but meaningful improvements like repositioned buttons and, hopefully, in-camera monitoring aids such as false color will add to its reputation as a compact, yet professional-grade cinema camera. Unlike the other two, it's less about comfort in hand and more about flexibility on set. Performance is where the three cameras begin to diverge sharply. The A7V is rumored to come with a new 44-megapixel BSI CMOS sensor, positioning it neatly between the 33-megapixel A7 IV and the high-resolution R series. This will give it more flexibility for cropping and detail without straying into the slower workflows associated with ultra-high-resolution files. Paired with the latest Bionic XR processor and a dedicated AI engine, the autofocus system will see meaningful improvements, addressing the occasional unreliability reported in the A7 IV during complex scenes. Burst shooting could double to around 20 frames per second, making it a strong candidate for sports, events, and wildlife photographers who want both speed and detail. The A7R VI will push further in terms of resolution, with leaks pointing toward a 66-megapixel sensor. What's interesting is that Sony appears to be improving readout speed and noise handling, so that this isn't just a megapixel upgrade. Expected performance includes 12 frames per second shooting with full autofocus tracking, which is impressive for a sensor this large. Low light capabilities will likely still be a challenge compared to lower resolution siblings, but Sony's dual-gain sensor design and improved noise reduction algorithms may help mitigate that. Autofocus, powered by expanded AI recognition, could track not only faces and eyes but also vehicles, birds, and even insects, showing how far Sony intends to take subject detection. The FX3 II will be all about video performance. OpenGate 3:2 capture is strongly expected, which allows filmmakers to maximize sensor usage and reframe footage for multiple platforms. More significantly, the inclusion of internal 12-bit RAW recording will answer one of the biggest criticisms of the original FX3. Rumors also point toward at least 6K capture, with whispers of 8K in certain modes. These capabilities, if confirmed, would put the FX3 II on equal footing with rivals from Panasonic and Blackmagic. Autofocus will borrow from Sony's latest AI-driven technology, making it far more reliable for solo operators and documentary shooters who don't always have a focus puller on hand. Feature sets often make or break cameras, and this is where expectations are high. For the A7V, beyond the autofocus and sensor upgrades, users will benefit from dual CF Express Type A and SD card slots, extended thermal management for longer recording, and up to 8 stops of in-body stabilization. Hybrid shooters will also appreciate the inclusion of 16-bit RAW output, alongside profiles like S-Log3 and S-Cinetone, keeping its video credibility intact. These changes reinforce the idea of the A7V as a true hybrid camera. The A7R VI will be feature-rich in both stills and video domains. Landscape and studio photographers will welcome pixel shift multi-shooting, capable of creating ultra-detailed composites up to 240 megapixel. Focus bracketing, another likely addition, will make macro and product shooters more efficient. On the video side, oversampled 4K from 8K capture and 10-bit 422 recording will be standard, finally making the R series competitive as hybrid cameras. Improved heat dissipation will be critical, ensuring that such high-resolution video is more than just a spec sheet headline. The FX3 II will be packed with features aimed at professionals who demand streamlined workflows. Internal RAW, Open Gate, and AI autofocus are obvious headliners, but additions like false color monitoring, Wi-Fi 6 for faster transfers, and dual card slots for flexible media handling will strengthen its appeal. One particularly interesting rumor is the possibility of a global shutter, which would eliminate rolling shutter distortion. While this remains speculative, even the suggestion points to Sony's ambition to push its cinema line into territory normally reserved for much larger, more expensive systems. Price will play a huge role in determining which of these models feels like the true winner. The A7V is expected to launch at around $2,799, which is a clear step up from the A7IV's $2,499, but aligns with Sony's steady upward trend. For users upgrading from the A7 III or A7 IV, this price will be a test of how much value they perceive in the autofocus and sensor improvements. The A7R VI, positioned as a resolution flagship, will likely cost around $3,899. This pricing puts it head-to-head with the Canon EOS ER5 Mark II and Nikon Z8, both strong competitors. The high price suggests Sony is targeting professionals and serious enthusiasts who can justify the investment with the demands of their work. The FX3 II is expected to fall between $3,800 and $4,200. This places it slightly above the A7R VI, but in line with professional cinema tools. The challenge for Sony is that by the time it arrives, rivals will already have internal RAW and Open Gate as standard, meaning the FX3 II must execute flawlessly to justify waiting. Its rumored release in late 2025, possibly spilling into 2026, could test the patience of users who need these features today. So, when considering the Sony A7V, A7R VI, and FX3 II, which model emerges as the ultimate winner? The truth is, each plays a different game. Sony's challenge will be timing and execution. Deliver the A7V and A7R VI on schedule, and they will strengthen Sony's dominance in the hybrid market. Delay the FX3 II too long, and it risks ceding ground to rivals. For now, all three models carry the potential to be winners, but the crown will ultimately go to the one that balances performance, price, and timeliness the best. Thanks for watching.